Essentially, there are 7 laws. There are 3 of those laws that are immutable, absolute. And the 4 are mutable. In other words, they can be evolved, changed, influenced, but evolved to the next level. And they all work together. But the 3 main laws, or immutable laws, are really cool. And they go with everything we've ever taught. And as I read it, I'm feeling grateful that we are adhering to those laws. Funnily enough, the highest law is that everything is mind. The earth is mind. And if you look at the 3D world, which is the physical world, it's a representation of that mind. That is researched all the way back to Pythagoras, the mystery schools, and on into the Kabbalah, into the Gnostic pathways, and all of it, and it goes back, is agreed to. So mind. And then inside that space, the second area is that as above, so below. So in other words, in the amoeba, the micro, everything is represented in the as it is in the macro. So all wisdom, all knowledge, everything in the universe is in the ingredient of a cell, all the way through to the quantum. It's the same, and it has the same wisdom and knowledge and structure if you want to explore. Third is the law of vibration. Everything's vibrating. The universe is vibrating, it's moving. Physicists understand this, but in that vibration, you've got thought, you've got light, you've got emotion, you've got everything happening in that vibrational space. And essentially, though, and we'll get into this, essentially, is we've got to find poise. If you look at your life and look at your journey and look at the obstacles and look at all that goes on, your job really is to find poise in your spoken word, find poise in your emotion, find poise in your desires, find poise in your actions. So in other words, being still in the storm, finding a stillness to respond from, causes harmony, causes light, causes good results and sustainable results. So essentially be a good person, but it's more complex than that. So responding with poise, we could say begins, but and/or is connected to the breath. And I'm a massive advocate for the breath. So as you put your attention now on breath, just watch it. And as you witness the breath, you'll witness, if you were to pay attention, your state of emotion. You'll witness the way your body feels, from tension to not tension. You'll see your emotion from distress to calm, somewhere in there on the continuum. And if you look at the other laws, one of them being polarity, the dichotomy of it all, the polarity of emotion from extreme stress, distress, anger, rage, blame, emotion, depression, anxiety, noise, fear, all the way through to absolute stillness and peace. They're not really opposites. They are on a continuum. And it's like one of those theodolites, I love saying that, that builders and those guys use with mercury to get a balance when they're measuring, to get the level. It's a level. We are there to learn to find the level. So as you watch the breath going in and out now, pay attention, calibrate to where your level is. You'll know. And as you interpret the external world, circumstance, in 3D, the physical world, and just notice your relationship with it and your response to it, your stories, your interpretations, your judgments, your blame, your unforgiveness, your forgiveness, all of it, and look at it and imagine, without judgment, just know that the authority you have to author your own script is to find poise. And from poise to every circumstance causes the fastest and best result in harmony with universal law. No matter what the obstacle, is to find poise. No matter what's going on, I'm lacking something. I don't have something. I have too much of something. All of it. And as you look at it, the key is to choose your response. So as you watch the breath and watch the reflex kick in and bring the breath back in, just witness it without breathing it. Just witness it, which is a stillness. You're not breathing, it's breathing you. Just witness it, be the awareness. And the funny thing is, you take the same awareness and then bring it out now and bring it to your life. Bring it to the room you're in or the space you're in, the car you're in, whatever it is, and put attention on it and witness it. And then look at further out, look at your relationships, look at your money, look at your circumstances, look at whatever drama through to peace is taking place, and allow yourself to watch it. And if there's something in there you don't like, or something in there you can't handle, or something in there you're incensed about, escalated, witness your state more than the obstacle. Witness your state more than the circumstance. Look at the circumstance, notice the state of your predisposition, and then bring your attention to the predisposition. They work together. And you, being you, whatever you are, the witness, awareness, you're causing it. So you can shift the state, the circumstance. First of all, you can shift the state much quicker than the circumstance, mostly. In my beliefs and learnings and looking at ancient wisdoms, the thing that we work on consistently is our state, our stillness. We're not talking about just being this peaceful little hippie wandering around going, it's amazing, it's incredible. Oh, so amazing. I love you so much. Until, they're escalated by a circumstance that it's not easy. I've saw many hippies in peaceful times in the 70s throwing tantrums, including myself. It's easy to be still when a little brook is flowing and someone's sitting playing a flute, someone's wandering around with beads and earrings and flowers. It's easier to be there. It's not as easy in a traffic jam. It's not as easy in a boardroom. It's not as easy when something's gone shit. But the best place to practice is in the circumstance that challenges you. So as you sit now and witness of your breath, and then witness of your, and then witness of your circumstances, just look at them all. The 3D world, the physical form world, where vibration at different frequencies has caused form. It's all caused by mind, and you know this. So your mind is where the control room is. If you want to shift the external circumstance, you have to shift your mind. And then the repercussion to affect the external sometimes can take a while. Don't worry about it. Take control of you, your state. And as you do that, allow yourself to bring your awareness to the immediate circumstance of your world and what you're going to affect it with. In other words, how you're going to respond to this week, this day, this minute, this second, this nanosecond, this micro moment, and the next one. And just notice that you can move furniture around. You can move your water around. You can run away. You can freeze. You can lock yourself in a room. You can hop on a plane and leave, hoping that it'll all be okay, and start again somewhere where no one knows you. You can do all of that. But you'll find, unless you've influenced who you bring, the same stuff will start to turn up. So you may as well go to work on the being. And as you do that, watch your breath now and start to go into a Wim Hof breath and bring it up to 30, 40 breaths. 3, 2, 1. And let's oxygenate the space. As you oxygenate and bring oxygen in the circular, vigorous breath, you're starting to fill your being, your cellular nature, with oxygen, life force, chi, prana, exquisite, fueling up. Then out and hold. And as you go into the hold, it's really cool, into tampering with the mixture, influencing it, fine-tuning it. So you get the chemistry of the oxygen CO2 mix right, the pH right. Your brain starts to work. The whole brain, not just the left, not just the right. The whole mechanism is a peripherally, beautifully exquisite mechanism. And then you put your attention on your vision, mind. And then you look at the infinite capability. So there's the absolute laws, and then there's infinity, which is always incomplete. That's the point. It's never finished. It's never done. It's infinity. It's a playground. It's fun. It's playful. And you throw your mind in it. You throw your emotion in it. You throw your words in it. You throw your vision in it. You do movement in it, in the physical, etc., etc. And you influence with integrity. You influence from your stillness. And then the hold, as you hold now, and then take and let the breath out, or find it, you allow the CO2 to now distribute the oxygen into your mechanism, into your being, far out, and then run another one. You're in control, you're running the mixture, you're in the pit of the Formula One team. You're in there getting the fuel right, getting the energy right, getting the focus right, taking control. Put your awareness on your vision for this week. Put your awareness in your intention, the map, direction. Forget the circumstances that restrict you. Your job is to breathe into them. It's just like in getting massage done where they're working on deep tissue and it hurts and they push it and they say, breathe, breathe into it. And then the muscle relaxes. The same with the mind. Breath work and breathing into it with stillness, breathing in and allowing the breath relaxes the mental muscle and it eases, it relaxes. Ah, same thing. It's all the same as above. Watch the stillness. And as you sit in the stillness, you're holding the CO2 and it's distributing, wafting, moving into the hemoglobin, into the bloodstream. And then when you're ready, allow the breath out. And then just go to a normal breath and breathe in. And as you breathe out, the CO2 distributes the oxygen. You're doing this with conscious awareness. It's really cool to recognize what you're doing. And you're bringing the pH, the acidity and the alkalinity into balance. You're running your mechanism. You're bringing it into its beautiful capability. You're tuning it. You're switching your mind on. And then if you add exercise, add food, the right food, sleep, rest, go into the forest, go into the beach, get peripheral vision, breathe, appreciate, which is to grow money, to appreciate money, but it's also to appreciate through recognition, to grow awareness, to grow your absolute appreciation of it all, the magic of it all. And you are in control as you take control. You're not out of control unless you aren't getting enough oxygen. If you are in emotional turmoil, if you're stuck in thoughts and beliefs that are restricting you. So as you sit in this place and run a breath again, I'm going to talk to you. And just watch the breath you choose. You can watch the reflex breath going in and out. You can do the 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. But just sit in quiet silence with your eyes closed and let me talk to your mind. When you turned up on the planet, you started to take on ideas, beliefs, thoughts. Some of them became habituated thoughts and beliefs. Some of them are true. Some of them are no longer true. Some of them never were true. It's okay. Just witness. There are thoughts and beliefs, ideas. I'm smart, I'm not smart, I'm cool, I'm not cool, I'm sexy, I'm not sexy, like all of it. I'm attractive, I'm not attracted, I'm intelligent, I'm exquisite, I'm beautiful, I'm whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, happy, I'm prosperous, I'm richly, infinitely capable. I am a beautiful being. I am an individualized expression of the infinite capability of it all. Wherever you put it, just notice the thoughts, beliefs, the doubts, the hesitations, the itches, the three-dimensional evidence of your lack or your abundance. However you want to spin it, remember you're spinning it in your mind. If you're stressed, if you're upset, it's the way you're spinning it. The three-dimensional world of form or other people's behavior. It's nothing to do with you, but it can affect you if you allow yourself to go into that vibration, into a belief that says judgment, anger, rage, blame. If you immerse yourself in thoughts of lack, doubt, judgment, you will create a world and a moment that reflects it. And I know the evidence is compellingly believable, but it's just a three-dimensional representation of mine, yours and others. And as you recognize it more and more, use your breath work, go still, be aware, and choose your thoughts, choose your beliefs. What do I want to experience more often? And then what do I need to believe is true to experience that? And then even if the belief is difficult in what appears as evidence, you're standing in the storm and the evidence is it's cold and windy and you might be lacking clothing, you might be vulnerable, you might be somewhere that's not sheltered. You might be standing out in the cold, you might be lacking food, you might be lacking where others are around you, you might be isolated. Whatever it is, look at it and understand your mind is the experience you have. As you witness the event, choose your response. And you do that through looking through the event to your chosen outcome, to your desire that might not be represented in the three-dimensional realm in front of you. That's the practice. How do I create it, imagine it, and stay still and hold the emotion of that while I'm dealing with what appears to be true in front of me? That's what you're made of. That's mastery. So then you look at the Tibetan monks who learned Tummo breathing, where Wim Hof's breath came from, and they can, in flimsy clothing, they can elicit warmth where the snow and ice melt around them through mind and breath. Viktor Frankl, founded at the prison camp. People find it in the most unlikely places, in the most impossible circumstances. You've heard the stories, you've read the books, you've seen the films of extraordinary performance under impossible conditions. And you see it and you have a flash and you go, the sports team comes back from an impossible position. Something magic happens, divine, and you go, far out. Like, how the fuck? How could you go from there to there? How could you do that? And we see it and we're inspired. Inspiration, in spirit, in the spiritual. And we reach in through the breath, through the mind. We witness our emotion, we choose our outcome, and then we practice being that being in spite of the circumstance. Now, there's humanity at its potential. And as you stand there and witness it, others around you might be running, screaming, yelling, frozen in the moment, in the fight-flight state, panicking, blaming, yelling, doom conversation. And you can sit there, shh, this too shall pass. And as you stay still, you'll watch the weather change over time, sometimes quickly, sometimes it takes a little while. And you'll see the clouds move, and then you'll see them shift, and then you'll see the sun come out. The sun was always there, behind the facade of the clouds or the weather. And as you hold on to that and you stay still now, imagine you're standing on that particularly beautiful beach or rainforest, wherever you choose. And just witness peripherally, expand your vision out and see the ocean or a great lake or a river, wherever you might. And notice the wind, depending on the weather, will cause it. And notice little ripples or big ripples, a wave perhaps, or just a slight ripple, or just a breeze, gust, whispering across the water. Or watch a cloud in the shadow of it whispering across the water. Which one is real, the reflection or the one in the sky? Real is subjective. And as you notice the interplay of it all, if you notice the shadows and the images and the reflections and real, and whatever real is in the shadows and the play, notice the quantum, notice the bigger picture, and notice that it's all intermingled in this wonderful mind. And as you take control of your mind, watching the breath now, look out and imagine yourself walking out on the water as you've done before. Imagine walking out on the water. It's been done before in stories, I believe, by great characters that understood the quantum, that understood the mysticism that was in the mystery schools with Pythagoras, or went off the core principles of the religions to the mystic, like the Kabbalah from the Jewish religions, from the pathways. Mystical wisdoms that go off from the Bhagavad Gita or the Bible, and go into the mystical schools, the mystery schools, and go outside the score, to go outside the written score, the rules. Miles Davis jams, Johnny Mayer, the guitarist, jams off the score. They can come back to the score, the essential black and white linear version of everything, but they can go off it too with imagination. The artist isn't restricted, but we can get caught. The classical music world, which I love, is also often stuck in its theory. This piece can only be played this way. But if you went back to Beethoven or Chopin or some of the classic writers, they would say the song was never meant to be just restricted to this. You can go off it whatever you like. Music is infinitely capable. It's the vibration of sound. Life is infinitely capable. You're not restricted by the theory, the rules. The rules are there, but they're immutable law, that are the rules of law of the universe, that there's only a few. There only needs to be a few. And if we adhere to them, we stay in integrity. Our values and the beliefs that align with them, and then our emotional management, and then our action and movement and our response. They're bound by laws, and they're simple laws. But the laws of man become complex and distorted. So now come into the simplicity and freedom of being you and understand that you are not restricted, but you have laws you can adhere to. And you have to be able to negotiate the fickle nature of humans' cultures, where they have rules and they're stuck and they're absolute and they're stuck in their absolutes and they argue for them. Be aware. Just be careful not to get pulled in, to be hogtied and bound, so you can't be free in your movement of your infinite capability. But as you learn to dance, you can be an outlier, move through and around, but be a free spirit. And as you notice that, you'll find that your agony, your pain, your restrictions in life are where you get bound and can't move or feel you can't. And your infinite capability starts to feel squashed, restricted. And the ache, if you ask most people what their high intention is, they'll say freedom. And they'll go freedom financially, or freedom, I can do whatever I like whenever I like. I've got enough money to do whatever I like. But what they really mean is the freedom to be me, the freedom to be in my full expression, the freedom to move, the freedom to respond, the freedom to dance like no one's watching, the freedom to be in my full expression, the freedom to be able to be powerful enough in myself not to be looking for other people's judgment, response, approval. But respectfully. So as you notice this and look out at the ocean and look out at all, notice that it's all connected. The ocean's connected to the sky, the breeze is connected to both, the light's connected to all, is all. The spectrums of light, and look at the laws, 7 immutable, 7 laws. And then light, and 7 colors that are the spectrum, core colors, and shades in between, and 7 sounds, 7 major notes. But you can go off in between into half notes and quarter notes. It's infinitely capable, all the way to infinity. Micro, all the way to the infinitely small, to the infinitely large. It's the same. And notice you're free. And in your freedom, you've chosen some of your expressions, the way you do business, the way you do money, the way you cause, but you're not restricted by it. You choose to immerse your talents and gifts into it, your energy, your imagination, your creativity, and you experience the dance of results, ever flowing, ever changing. The result you're getting that is difficult is not stuck in time unless you choose to believe it is and stay in that holding pattern. It's just a moment. And in the scheme of the infinite capability, it is such a brief moment, but it seems like forever sometimes. But there are laws. It takes 9 months-ish for a human fetus being to begin and end and complete, to move to the next realm, into the world of 3-dimensional form and be born. And then there's the journey of the little baby to being able to move around and start to individualize itself, and then become able to interact, recognize, communicate, using sound for language, using movement to reach, influence, move things around to the world world of leaving parents and the next birth into being able to play in the playground and learn to interact with other beings. And then the high school, young adult world, moving into individuality in my own right. And I start to free myself from the talons and connections of my caring parent. And I move into independence. And then I move to adulthood, and then I move young adulthood, then I move, and I go through stages. Some of them say there's 8 stages. Depends which psychologist did the research. But in the infinite capability of it all, the meaning is you're evolving. And as you look out of the ocean, having stood out there for a while, if you had forgotten where you walked out, just remember you're still standing on the ocean. And now I want you to imagine taking your imagination and diving it into the ocean or the river or the lake and go down deep. And you don't need to breathe unless you want to. And you can breathe underwater in the imagination. You can do anything with anything in the imagination. And there's some things you can do in the imagination that can't be done in the 3D world. But you have different worlds to play in. And remember, as we complete this now and start to think about coming into the room and talking about it, that the external world, the 3D world, which is one of the external worlds, is caused by mind. Your thinking of it is the experience you have, not the circumstance itself. Your interpretation is the experience you give yourself. Your way of choosing what's going on and then responding, reacting to what you've chosen is going on. You choose what's going on. An amazing day for one person, hell for another. 5 versions of what happened, who witness an event or not, is subjective to you. And your interpretation is yours to control and practice and learn. So as you take that this week and really notice as you look and witness and interpret, choose your response or practice it and witness where you feel habituated and drawn into a response that you've practiced but isn't getting a good result. And just witness it with joy and go, fuck, how cool is this? I'm stuck in a holding pattern. I'm watching myself do shit that I know is not going to get me what I want. And I'm watching it, witnessing it. That's one of the first positions of transition to taking control, moving into authority. Witness it, smile. Go, look at me. I'm stuck in hell. I'm stuck in a moment of fear. I'm stuck in this position. I'm lacking money. I haven't eaten for 6 days. I'm this, I'm that. She's left me. He's left me. I'm alone. I haven't got a partner. No one loves me. Am I gay? Am I this? Am I... And you can find yourself falling down the hole and then stop a minute and grab your thought and think, stop. It's your mind causing it. And now watch your breath. Choose your state. Just choose one that you love, a really nice one. I like inspired and still. Inspired, in spirit. I'm in the relationship of the infinite capability of the quantum, and I'm in the 3D world, playing, making, causing, influencing, changing, making decisions, sharing with others, being in teams. Let's make this, let's cause that. 2 boys sitting in the forest. Let's be Indians, let's be this, let's be soldiers, let's be heroes. Or whatever the games are these days. And 2 girls, 2 boys, boys and girls and boys, I don't know. All of us just playing, having fun. So if today was fun, if it was playful, in spite of whatever you've got to deal with that is shitty, if there is, just smile and go, my response to the shitty, in fact, my judgment makes it shitty. If I change what it is and go, actually, it's my obstacle that's going to help me grow my stillness, then it becomes a really cool thing to play with. On that note, as you breathe, awareness, bring your body and mind together in awareness and notice your body. Bring your awareness back into the room. Thank you for listening.